I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL, thanks for joining me. Today I'm bringing out the booze, top 10 boozy fragrances from my collection. Stay tuned. I love boozy notes in fragrances. If you're a little unsure though, don't worry, they do not make you smell like you've gone a little heavy on the sauce the night before. The best way I can describe it is, it's the olfactory equivalent of how a really nice alcoholic drink might taste. And for me, boozy notes really round out a fragrance, they add depth and often a degree of sweetness. Some of my favourite fragrances have boozy notes in them. I'm going to talk about 10 of them in this video today. There are 5 designer, 5 niche, so hopefully a bit of something for everyone here. Also, in no particular order, just 10 boozy bangers. So let's uncork the first one. Let's kick things off with a really good entry level fragrance. This is a cheapie from Zara. It's from their tobacco collection. It is Unexpected Fresh Spicy. The boozy note here is whiskey, but it doesn't stand out really, it doesn't dominate too much amongst all the other notes in this fragrance. It's just a really smoothly blended fragrance. Also in here you've got some warm spices, some tonka bean, sandalwood, vanilla, of course the tobacco. So it's got this very warm, comforting feel to it, but also I'd say a very mass appealing type of fragrance. Performance is average, so you know, pretty decent projection and longevity. It lasts longer than a lot of other Zara fragrances, so I don't really have any complaints, especially considering the price of this. I did just check on Zara's website before filming this and it doesn't seem to be available, so whether that means they've done that thing where they discontinue a pretty popular fragrance, I'm not sure. Your best bet is either to get into a Zara store, obviously when lockdown is over, and go and see if you can find it in there, or see if there are any floating around online. I'm sure there will be, but just be careful you don't pay too much, because at retail this is only about £12. So we're going from really cheap to quite a bit more expensive on this one. We're talking about a niche fragrance. This is from the brand Argos, and before you decide to make the 100th jokey comment, no, it is not the magazine store based here in the UK. From Argos Fragrances, it's Triumph of Bacchus. Rum is our boozy note in this one, which gives it a nice cheeky little kick, which results in a very satisfying, assertive quality to the fragrance. There's also some fruit, there's some apple and some peach, and of course a beautiful tobacco note, which is one of the reasons why I love this one so much. And then there are other notes of sweet, comforting goodness. It's just a gorgeous, high quality, luxury, niche fragrance. I adore this one. It always reminds me a little bit of opening a bag of licorice all sorts, which is kind of sweet or candy that we have here in the UK. I love those sweets, so it's a good thing. I also love Triumph of Bacchus. If you're interested in picking this one up, it is not available in magazines, but I've left a link in the description. Designer fragrance next, and we're going all the way back down to the cheaper end of things, but we are not compromising on quality, because what you get in this one is luxury, niche-like quality. So I said it's from a designer, it's actually a car designer, it's Bentley, and it's Bentley for Men Intense. Again, rum is the boozy note in this one. There's also some cinnamon, incense and leather. So it smells quite grown up and quite complex. It's got a smooth, sweet creaminess. So personally, I think it is quite easy to wear. It has the luxury and sophistication you would associate with the Bentley brand. Stunning fragrance for the money, because you can pick 100ml up for under £30. I'd say here in the UK, All Beauty and Latino are your best places to find it. To get a fragrance that is such high quality for such a low cost makes this one probably the best value fragrance on this entire list. For the next one, we're sticking with pure luxury, but moving all the way back up to niche. This one is from Amouage. It was love at first sniff for me, Overture Man. This opens with a bright and punchy grapefruit, but I wouldn't describe it as zesty. It's smoothed out beautifully by cognac and cardamom, and I'd describe it as this almost buttery, smooth grapefruit type of accord, which I find particularly unique, and it's one of the things I love about this. As it dries down, it settles into that beautiful, smoky incense, trademark Amouage style. It's a dream from start to finish, a superbly well blended fragrance. The scent coupled with the incredible performance make this an absolute must try for autumn and winter, especially if you enjoy the Amouage style of fragrances. Back to designer for the next one, and this one has an opening pop to die for. In fact, it's in competition for the opening with another designer fragrance coming a little later in this list. This one even comes in a hip flask. It is CH Men Prive. So we've got some whiskey in our hip flask combined with some bright citruses, and it's this pairing that is responsible for the incredible opening. There's also some leather and tonka, so there's some maturity here and complexity, but it's still a great, fun, mass appealing fragrance. I'd say it's definitely a potential compliment getting scent. It's just a little bit of a shame that that amazing opening doesn't last a little longer into the dry down, but in my opinion, it is still one of the best boozy designer fragrances you can buy. Great fun and a little bit bad boy. The next niche choice is one of the smoothest and most realistic whiskey notes in any fragrance I've ever smelled. From Nasomatto, it's Baraonda. As well as the incredible warming whiskey accord, this one also has some florals, woods and musk, and it's got a sweetness to it that I really enjoy. And for a fairly creative niche house like Nasomatto, they've done a great job in making this one very easy to wear. I'd say the previous one, CH Men, leans a little more to the fun side of things. Baraonda goes more for refinement and sophistication, so wearing this at a formal occasion in autumn and winter would be absolutely perfect. Boozy Baraonda is a banger. It's back to fun and lively for the next designer choice, and this is the one that was competing with CH Men for its incredible opening. This one is just such a great fun fragrance. From Mugler, it's Pure Malt. So this is definitely a feel-good and uplifting fragrance. I'd say the boozy aspect isn't as realistic or as refined as some of the niche options on this list, but if there is any fragrance in this video that is likely to get you some compliments, if that's your thing, it's this one. It's loud, it's brash, it's even maybe a little bit juvenile, but it's such a fun fragrance to wear. Along with Pure Havane, it is definitely one of my favourites from the Amen line. So I finally own a Kilian fragrance. I recently bought this after using clones and decants for years. I'd say this is probably my favourite gourmand. Black Phantom. Rum blended with sugar, caramel, coffee and chocolate. Black Phantom is just a sensual, indulgent treat of a fragrance. It's sweet, it's rich, it's got this charismatic, dark, mischievous quality running through it. If you love gourmands, you have to try Black Phantom. It reminds me of December and winter time, which is when I first discovered this fragrance a few years ago. For the first Kilian bottle in my collection, it had to be this one. Next up is a recently discontinued Tom Ford private blend. It has tobacco in the name, but it also has a beautiful whiskey accord. Tobacco Oud. Whiskey, spices, tobacco and incense in this one, and in my opinion it's one of Tom Ford's best. It is easily in my top 3 of the Tom Ford private blend fragrances. What a shame it seems to have been discontinued. It's assertive and confidence inspiring, but it has this sweetness which gives it enough of a mass appealing nature. It's rich and complex. The whiskey and tobacco just play off each other beautifully in this one. If you're looking for a boozy fragrance that also has some attitude, Tobacco Oud delivers. All right, on to the last one, and with my favorite fragrance of all time containing an incredible cognac accord, I had to save this one till last. From Roja Parfums, it's Enigma. A beautifully smooth and realistic cognac blends with vanilla, ginger, tobacco and benzoin. Enigma blew me away the first time I smelled it, and it continues to blow me away every single time. It's inspired by a mysterious, enigmatic man sipping cognac in a private club in London. The quality and refinement on display in Enigma is just pure class and sophistication. I own several versions of this. I have the Parfum Cologne, I have the EDP, and I also have the Parfum, which is just as well because I will never ever tire of wearing Enigma. Okay, so there we are, we're all boozed up. Those are my 10 favourite boozy fragrances. I hope the mix of designer and niche gave you enough variety in this list. Let me know what you think of the fragrances. Is Enigma one of your favourites, as it is mine? If there's a boozy fragrance in here that you love and I don't have and I've not talked about, please do drop it in the comments and let us know. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM, keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next one.